is Tuesday, and I'm really excited this morning because yesterday I started filming the video that is going to be about some pieces in my vintage burlesque collection, and you'll see that on Thursday of this week that this video is uploaded. And it was really fun looking through a lot of the pieces. I have them packed and stored, trying to keep them protected, but being able to pull them out again and talk a little bit about them and show them is amazing. I love capturing all of this on video so that I can go back and rewatch a lot of these things, and they're just really great memories. So you'll be seeing that later this week, and I'm going to start editing it this week, hopefully, as well. Now, today I'm feeling refreshed. It was a really, I'm going to be honest, it was a rough weekend. We had one of our local universities had a game in town, and it started later than it normally does. So people were out tailgating, drinking since like 9 o'clock in the morning, which do what you gotta do. But we had a lot of people coming in the shop all Saturday that were not very friendly. It was a challenge, to say the least. You had a lot of people that I think had a little bit of an axe to grind with people who work in the service industry, it felt like. So yesterday I just took some time to refresh and regroup and come back in with a little bit more of a refreshed state of mind. And I've said it once, and I'll say it time and time again. If you're watching this and you work in the service industry, whether it be retail, food industry, any industry that works with the general public, I salute you. I think we've all been there. Peopling can be very exhausting. It drains you down to the core. So thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. And it's a rough job, peopling. It really is. That's why I could never be a therapist. It's a lot. So today I thought what I would do before I open, it's about 45 minutes until I open up the shop. I'm going to get myself situated, put on some good music, and I think I might tackle another rack of the archive and back. I'm feeling really motivated after doing the burlesque video yesterday, and I want to continue that. This week is going to be an interesting week. I don't have any buying appointments on my calendar, at least not that I know of, but I'm really excited because on Thursday this week, my amazing friend Tyler, who you saw a little bit of in the Grandpa's Pool House video, she had the really cool camera equipment, she was doing videography, amazing photographer. Her short film is premiering at our historic Fargo Theater here in town, and I'm really excited. I got one photo back of one of the pieces that they are going to have in the film, so if I remember, I'll leave myself a note. I'll put the photo in here, but I'm really excited. I know she's worked really hard on it, and so many talented people and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears I know went into this, so I'm very excited. It's going to be a great night, and I don't think I'll be able to film any of it. They have a lot of security practices there, and I don't think they're going to let me bring my camera in, obviously. But I'll try to gather what I can. So it's going to be a week of, I think, it's creativity, seeing other people's creativity and drawing inspiration from it. So let's get the day started. Now, instead of music this morning, I am going to listen to one of my favorite podcasts, and it's Betwixt the Sheets, The History of Sex, Scandal, and Society. I love Dr. Kate Lister. I am obsessed with the history of sex, cultural significance. I love this podcast so much. I highly recommend it. So I'm going to listen to the episode History of Grief, Sky Burials, and Victorian Death Photos. Just something different to start the morning. Now on Sunday, I hung up all of the remaining pieces from our most recent buying appointment. So all of those are hung up, ready to be steamed, priced, and put on better hangers. So I'm going to move all of this and try to make it to that back rack and see if I can just start tinkering around here and there with some of the organization. Now I'm going to go through and try to organize this rack. It's a complete amalgamation of a lot of things. We have some men's pieces, lingerie, dress suits, dresses. It kind of was just things that didn't fit on the other racks that I had to find a spot for. And the one thing with my ADHD, I'm very particular about how certain things are presented. And a lot of these longer lingerie pieces, I couldn't fit over on this rack, and I didn't want them dragging on the floor, so we had to hang them. What do they used to call that? Hamburger style? Remember, like with paper, the long way would be hot dog, short way would be hamburger style. I really don't like that, but it's what we have to do for now. I don't have an alternative. Eventually, I'm going to get another one of these gold racks, and I'd probably just have one bar up here to hang those pieces from. But until then, I have to make do. So I'm going to see what makes sense and maybe put the stuff I don't use as much towards the back over here and the pieces I do towards this end. What I also want to do eventually, it's on my list, is do a dedicated video to the pieces I got from Joanne Carson and display the clothing on an actual mannequin. It's one of those videos where I have to be in the right mindset, and I haven't been lately, so that's coming eventually. But there are a lot of other things I need to get ticked off my list before I focus on that. This is a piece I wanted to pull because it's not necessarily a style that I'm obsessed with, but I love the garment tag it came with, and it's a Lady Camille kind of pastel rainbow nightgown from the 70s. And in the 70s, this was $20. It's in perfect condition. And I got this piece in a lot of bunch of vintage garments from a condo near the shop, and the son of the owner in stages has been trying to just find pieces, homes, and I've been going in for the past couple of years every 4 or 5 months, grabbing pieces, seeing what I can sell, what I want to keep. And the original owner owned a salon in town. Not to be confused with the amazing Miss Ruby. These are two different salon owners that I believe had salons around the same time, so I'm not sure if they were competitors, but really interesting. And in her condo, she had that really amazing dryer chair that I've shown in previous videos. After her salon closed and she got a little up there in age, she moved that dryer chair to her condo, and one of the stylists would come every week and do her hair, which was amazing. So it's cool to have that here. This is one of the pieces that she had in her closet. And there was an entire closet filled with vintage lingerie and robes that still had all of their original tags on them and were never worn. And some of them I still have here on the floor. The majority of them were Vanity Fair from the 70s. But her son said that her next door neighbor across the hall from her used to work at what used to be called Dayton's, what we call Macy's now, and would always get these pieces on super discount because they were on sale and the employee got an extra discount on it. So his mom would buy them and just stockpile them. It was really, really cool. In some of the videos I don't know if I uploaded any of them to YouTube at the time because I wasn't very active with my channel at that point, but I did do TikTok videos of them. And if I remember, I'll put my TikTok link below. I don't update that anymore either, but there are a lot of vintage hair and nail care products that I got from her as well. Some of them I kept for our archive, others I had sold. So that was really cool. I kept this one because it's a cool story, cool memory, and I really love the artwork on this tag. It's very simple, but classic and very indicative of that time. Now I got 2 of these. She actually had 2 of them, and they both... Now I can't remember if that one had the tag on it still. I'm pretty sure it did. And one of my regulars at the time I knew really loved vintage nightwear and sleepwear, so I let her know I got that in, and it is now in her wonderful hands. So I didn't keep everything, but this is one I kept for myself and was kind of poking through there, so I thought I'd just showcase it. Okay, I had to pause for a minute because I had to take a little bathroom break. And as I was in the bathroom, now, little backstory, in the building that my shop is in, is a very old building. It was one of the first buildings built here in downtown Fargo. Great history. I think I'll do a video on the history of it. Found out some cool information recently that I think would definitely be cool to talk about. But as I was in the bathroom, now these bathrooms are creepy. There's a long, very dim hallway you have to get to. It's a communal bathroom for the entire building. There are things on the stalls and the walls that are really gross, and it's a scary bathroom in itself that way. But it reminded me a couple years ago. Now, for those of you who don't know, for a couple of years, had a podcast with the shop. I haven't had the mental energy to do that podcast, but you can listen to some of the episodes here on my YouTube channel, and it's on Apple, Spotify, Pandora. I'll link it below. But I did an episode on some of the creepy happenings that have happened in this shop, and one of them directly involves the bathroom, and it's my tale of the phantom pisser. Now, I could go through the whole story here, but I have a whole episode about it fresh out of my head, so you get more details. But if you're interested in that story and some of the stories about the unusual occurrences I've had here in the shop and in this building, I'll link the episode down below. But being that it's October and in the spirit of Halloween, I thought it would just be a fun little episode to link below, and tell me what you think. Okay, so finished with this rack. I have a little bit of fine tuning. Now, upon first glance, you may think it looks exactly the same, but I assure you I did do some things to it. I have all of the men's stuff here, some of the women's pants go into the vintage robes, down to the vintage nightgowns, vintage dresses, and then vintage sets, like dress sets, skirt, and blazer sets. And then these bagged pieces are some of the higher ticket items that I need to figure out a better place for. Again, it's not exactly where I want it to be, but at least it has a little bit of semblance of some organization right now. So it's about 20 minutes until I have to open up the shop. I'm going to get myself all ready, hop into that, start editing videos, and if it turns into a little bit of a sleepy day today, I'll find something else to tackle. I don't know if I dare do that one yet. I would have to get out my little step ladder, but we'll see. We'll see how the day goes. Now I'm currently editing the vintage haul video that I would have posted last week as you're watching this. And I'm writing notes and contemplating how I'm going to organize more sections in the archive. If you kind of look outside today, it's very gloomy, overcast. So I feel like now is a really good time to get these projects going. So I'll kind of show you a little bit of what I'm thinking. I'm just desperate to get these sections in more order and just struggling with where to put things and how to organize them in a way that I feel like I can live with for now until I can find a more permanent solution. Now, as I was doing this rack, I was thinking that since I have some coats towards the back of this bottom rack that I organized, it would make more sense to bring the rest of these coats and jackets I have here, put them over on this rack, and then move all of the vintage sleepwear, robes, nightgowns over here and put them in their place. I do have some vintage lingerie and bed jackets up here, have some tops, some more of the costume pieces over on that side. So I think I might do it. I don't know why I stall so much moving these, because it's not permanent. I can move them back. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, see how I like it. If I don't like it, I'll change it. Okay, I did it. It took all but 5 minutes. So I moved all of the coats and jackets over here, and I definitely like how this looks and flows much better. And then we have all of these pieces still folded because I don't want them dragging on the floor, but I feel like this just makes a little more sense. So my next step is I am going to go through and just organize some of these costume pieces. Now these are like vintage circus, some burlesque, ice skating costumes, a little mishmash of everything. Organize that, try to make it make a little more sense. But then up here, this rack was once organized from about here down. And since recent photo shoots that we've done, it's gotten a little mixed up. So my next step will be to go through and reorganize all of these pieces, but you know, slowly checking some things off the list. Now, what I'm really trying to do is sell through a lot of pieces on this rack. Now, I have a bunch of late 90s, early 2000s, and some contemporary clothing pieces that I currently have up on eBay in an auction lot. Trying to get rid of them super cheap, but I've given myself a deadline. If they don't sell by January 1st, I'm just going to donate them because they do me no good sitting here. Have some backstock new pieces and some summer stuff that I pulled from the floor for the winter. So I'm chipping away at this rack. I keep adding things to it, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, so it is Wednesday morning and I am going to tackle this top shelf of the archive rack before I open. Now, one thing I love is I love creating outfits and finding things for people. And my sister texted me last night and she texted me a picture of Priscilla Presley, and she wants to see how close she can get to looking like Priscilla Presley, and asked if I had anything that would suit this photograph. So I sent her a photo of this really beautiful pink jacket, this cool collar, and we're thinking this would do the trick. I'm really excited to see how she does it. She's got jet black hair, long, so she teases it up, back combs, she does really beautiful makeup. I can't wait to see it. I think it's gonna be really exciting. So I am going to hold this out and just start organizing a little bit over here. It's not that disheveled, just some things need to be tweaked a little bit and see if I can tweak them a little bit better. And then if I have time, I might try to tackle that top rack up there. But we'll start with baby steps first. Now, I said that I didn't think there's a lot of organizing that need to be done here, but I think throughout the photo shoots I've had for the past 6 months, I've been finding pieces I've used have been just kind of like popped into random places. So I'm seeing that I was a lot more disorganized with how I put things back on here than I thought I was. So I am now going through and taking all of these tops and blouses that I had put in the costume section and putting them up here. Now, as much as I can, I'm just organizing these by swimsuits, tops, little cardigan, and then we go into the vintage and antique lingerie. A lot of these really great Edwardian corset covers, bed jackets, and some newer contemporary pieces. So I'm going to get these pieces up here. I've got this amazing Bob Mackie beaded sheer tux top that we used in the Grandpa's Pool House shoot, and then some other pieces that I've used in previous shoots, like this amazing chartreuse Vivienne Westwood Anglomania top. All right, let's put these in their new homes. Now mixed in here, I have some Edwardian tops, very early version of a Dickie. I love the black sheer ruffles on this, and it ties just under the arms. You put this under even a blouse like this. Oh, forest green silk. I think it's, well, it's like maybe a silk rayon. And then you have this almost gunmetal beading on the front. And if I turn it around, have it on the back as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Now this one is a wounded bird. You can see that it did have a lot of wear. But other than that, it's in amazing condition. And these are pieces that, obviously the black dicky I'm going to be keeping, but this green blouse, I've been going back and forth because I'm not obviously going to use it for any shoots. I really just loved the beading. So I've been going back and forth. Do I want to sell it? Do I want to keep it? It's always the same conversation, but really wonderful pieces that I always just like pulling out and admiring. It's currently Thursday. I have been rushing around trying to get some things done today, and I ended up having a little impromptu buying appointment. I had a woman call who had moved her mother out over a year ago and had a bunch of her clothing from the 40s, 50s, 60s, a little bit from the 70s, and she just wanted them to find good homes because half of her family wanted to just toss them. So I got a lot of really lovely pieces. A lot of them need cleaned, but I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm debating doing another vintage haul video on this, and I'll tell you why I've been doing these videos. So often I get pieces in that I don't get a chance to photograph or document, and they end up selling before I get a chance to. And that makes me kind of sad. I like remembering pieces, and I've been having people come in recently who will talk about their favorite vintage dress or vintage top that they got from here, and they'll try to describe it, and I just have no recollection. And these videos are almost a way of just to document all of these pieces and be able to enjoy them even after they've been sent off to their new families. So I think I will do a small mini haul video. I promise I won't make it over an hour long. I've tried to keep them really short, but that obviously failed. So I will do a little teensy-weensy haul video of this, just quickly show everything so that I can keep these memories with me. And if you enjoy watching it, great. If they're not your thing, then luckily you don't have to watch. One sneak peek I do want to give is this 1970s Joe Namath by Arrow top. And you can't find too many of them online. I haven't been able to find this specific print, but it's a beautiful lake and mountain forest scene. Never had this specific brand come in, Joe Namath for Arrow. I've had many Arrow pieces, but I love this, and it's going to be hard to part with it as per usual, but it just needs to go off to its new home. And now when I'm talking about it, this would look really fun with that camo print maxi dress that I previously used for the Grandpa's Pool House shoot. I need to talk myself out of this one. Happy Friday. I'm a day off. I got in early this morning to do the little vintage haul video on this one that you haven't seen yet. I believe it'll be coming out not the week that this archive vlog comes out, but the week after. Give a little bit of a break from the vintage haul videos. It's gonna be shorter, I promise. But I got in early today to get that done and start sorting these out by what needs to be cleaned. Now, last night was a long but great night. My amazing friend Tyler, who has done some killer photo shoots for my shop in the past, I'll put up some of the examples here, had her first short film premiere last night at the Fargo Theater. Such a fun night, really emotional to see all of the hard work that her and all of the cast put into it. It was wonderful, beautiful film, so freaking cool. Couldn't be prouder of her, and got to see one of my pieces in the movie, which is always a lot of fun. So a little tired, but riding off of that creative high of seeing other friends who are creatives being able to live out their dream and their visions. There's nothing more inspiring. So I'm taking that energy and putting it into the day today. Now it's about 20 minutes until I open, and I thought I was done with buying appointments for the year, but I had someone drop off a box of vintage last night, and it's someone that I've been talking to for a few months who has boxes and boxes of pieces, but I'm at the point where I'm getting a little vintage hauled out. So I told her just leave one box at a time. I'll go through it, see if there's anything, and just take it little by little. So I'm gonna go through this box today, get all of my other projects done, and kind of knock off the list of things that I didn't get done last night. A little bit later in the day, and I am photographing this stunning Suzy Perette. Oh, look at those colors. It's neckline and everything. I mean, wow. The neckline. I'm so excited. As you can see back here, my little spider web needs to be torn down. I've had a little too many accidents with it, but let's not notice that. Let's notice this dress. I went through the box from earlier and found a few things. A lot of things in the box were in a condition that almost the whole box would need to be mended or cleaned, and I don't have the time or the space for that. So I think these are ones that I'm interested in. I'll show them to you if it actually goes through, but yeah, got that done. And now just focusing on photographing a couple of these pieces, thinned out all of the pieces that need to be laundered, and then the ones that are ready to be photographed. Just got done photographing this beauty, and these really do come alive once you get them on the mannequins. So I finished taking photos of those two. I think that's where I'm going to stop it today. I have a few more I wanted to do, but I might wait till Sunday. Just wanted to give a little sneak preview.